Now it's time for some of today's trending tickers. You can scan the QR code below to check out the best and worst and most viewed stocks of the session on Yahoo Finance's trending tickers page. Now I'm rejoined by Interactive broker Steve Sosnick as well as Yahoo Finance's Josh Schafer to chat about some of these movers that we're watching today. And one of the movers, of course, that's not just a mover of the day, it's a mover of the year, is Nvidia. The latest news with Nvidia today, it's completing its acquisition of an Israeli AI firm called Run AI. Watching this here, the company apparently it has software that helps owners of intelligence computing gear get the best out of their hardware. That was how the Bloomberg report.
It helps you use your chips better and smarter, right? It's sort of how I was reading it, which to me fits into a little bit of part of the Nvidia narrative that we've been talking about over the last week or two, right? It was, I think maybe a week ago now, I was on with Madison Mills and we were talking about Nvidia's playing cloud, right? And trying to build out cloud. And this is also, okay, I bought an Nvidia product. What do I do with it? How do I use it more efficiently? And it's a smart play for Nvidia when you think about just the growth of the company, right? You sell all these people these products, how are you going to keep making money off them and sort of continue to grow top line if it's not selling chips? Maybe it's the services aspect, right?
Well, it's been, I mean, the integration of software and hardware has been one of Nvidia's innovations as a chip maker, right? The other chip makers haven't necessarily done that to the same degree of success. What's interesting here is that it sounds like Run AI is also potentially going to provide services for other hardware systems, not just Nvidia's. So just another, I mean, I know you watch Nvidia closely, very closely, Steve.
You can't not.
Right, and so how are you thinking about it as we go into 2025? And there's this relentless push from Nvidia and its cohort to come up with what's next.
Well, that's really the key. I mean, you know, if you think of AI as the gold rush, and you know, these are the ultimate pick and shovel. Nvidia is the manufacturers of pick and shovels for the AI gold rush. And you know, to the extent that this makes their products more saleable, more useful, provides a longer revenue stream, it makes a lot of sense for all the points that Josh raised. But you know, to me, Nvidia is going to remain, at least for early 2025, the stock to watch. And I think, you know, as I brought up in the earlier segment, Earnings expectations are very high for the S&P 500. Well, the S&P 500 is a top-heavy index, and Nvidia is among the things making it top-heavy. And the one interesting thing is shortly after the inauguration, we launch into earnings season. That's when we start to hear the guidance from basically most companies, all the big cap tech companies, with one big exception, Nvidia, which is a month later.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's going to be very crucial that Nvidia can maintain the type of earnings growth that's priced into it. There's a lot of good news priced into this stock. Doesn't mean I'm not going to say they can't do it, but they have to keep this going at a very, very rapid pace to maintain the stock price and maintain the momentum that they have.
And the momentum has faded a little bit here at the end of the year, right? It's still the second best performer in the S&P 500 this year, but it's 6% below its record where it closed on November 7th, right after the election. And it's had some sort of it's had something like 3 corrections this year. So we've definitely had
It's in the intermediate post-earnings when Nvidia kind of doesn't really go anywhere for a little bit, right? And it feels like there's all these news headlines, and then as it gets closer to earnings, it seems to rally. That's kind of been the trend, at least for the past couple quarters. It'll be interesting to see if we get that early in 25, too.
Yes, it will be.